Right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye. Sorry, it's a bit blurry in that corner. It's really putting me off now. Guna Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumour show where I talk to you about rumours and news surrounding the Arsenal. All my hands up, been a bit slack with this channel recently. Usually I'm like clockwork with the Eagle Eyes every single day at 7. And I think what has essentially happened is because the Premier League games were being played in the evening, Eagle Eyes have now fell out of my diary. And I've not really inserted it back in. Also, in addition to that, I also did a chopping block earlier. And I only found, I don't know why members didn't tell me because they saw this thing first. What I didn't realize was the audio cut out halfway through. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So this is how dedicated I am to you guys. I'm bringing you one of these now. I am then going to re-upload or re-record my shopping block. I'm going to have to think of some brand new stuff to say. So I'm going to re-upload that. I'm going to get some kit. We're going to work our normal day. And then once we finish, in the evening, I'm bringing you my season review with Ola and maybe one other confirmed guest. I'm waiting for them to confirm. So that will come at 9:30 UK time tomorrow. It'll be a season review. We'll be rating the players out of 10. You know how we do. Do it every single year. This year won't be different. All right, let's get into the story. I know you guys want to know what I've got to say about this. Mr. Thomas Partey, the story will never end. Yeah, I know. I was kind of pissed. Arsenal, it's only Arsenal that do this. It's only Arsenal. Keep in mind, Thomas Partey is probably, in today's market, let's configure Corona in there somewhere. He is probably a 60 to 70 million pound player, right? So this is the equivalent of going into a shop and you see a bottle of Courvoisier with £10 off it. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, I don't know why you wouldn't. They sell Courvoisier all around the world, so people should know that drink. It's one of the better well-known brandies in the world, right? It's not the poshest, don't get it twisted, but it's one of the better-known brandies in the world. This is not Napoleon we're talking about here. This is a decent brandy, right? And Tesco have it £10 off. And I know what people are saying because they're already saying it in the chat. I can see you. Don't worry about it, Jeremiah. I'll address it's a negotiation. I'll address it in a second, right? And they've already said this is £10 off. Quite frankly, it's a good deal. You don't go into a supermarket and say, cool, this is £10 off it, but I still want to give you half of the already knocked down offer. That's not a negotiation. That's just dumb. What do you mean half? We've already knocked it down. Well, I want to only give you half. And all right, just for argument's sake, I'll throw in this bottle of alcohol. Now, it's not necessarily brandy, and it doesn't necessarily taste as nice, but it don't work like that. It don't work like that. And for Jeremiah, let me especially address you, my brother, because you do it respectfully. You have a tendency of disagreeing with things I say. Let me address this real quick. This is exactly how we lost the Luis Suarez deal, doing stupid shit like this. There's no way, I don't care what Liverpool fans say today. When Arsenal were actually a top team and Liverpool were ironically where we were, right? There was no way if we hadn't come correct to Liverpool and said, listen, we'll give you 50 million for Luis Suarez. None of this £1 nonsense. 50 million for Luis Suarez. There's no way they wouldn't have accepted that. I don't care what anyone says. There is no way. Arsenal just do this. They do it and they look messy doing it. Everybody has known about this 50 million euros clause. Partey is a player that is worth much, much more. And you know what? Jeremiah's point would hold water with me if they said, if Arsenal came correct and said, all right, we don't quite have 50 million euros, but here we go. Look, what we're going to do here is we're going to offer you 40 million euros plus some sort of plan to make up the rest or something. But bro, you offered them half of what they wanted. Plus Guendouzi. You got to assume, first of all, Guendouzi wants to go there, which, by the way, he doesn't. Guendouzi in his ego believes he doesn't want to go to Atletico Madrid. He wants to go to Barcelona because in his mind, he believes he's good enough to break into the Barcelona team. That is apparently a quote. Now, he has no interest in going to Atletico Madrid. He wants to go to Barcelona because he believes he's good enough to break into the Barcelona team. And that is a quote. Now, I'll come back to the Guendouzi side of that story because that story, believe it or not, actually has some legs to it. I'll come back to that. So Arsenal, in their wisdom, have bidded £22.5 million or 25 million euros plus Matteo Guendouzi, a player who doesn't want to join that club, to release Thomas Partey from his contract. Bear in mind, this is a player yours truly told you wanted to join Arsenal 3 months ago, and most of y'all laughed at me. Has a little weight now to it, don't it? This is currently trending on number 2 on Twitter now, don't it? Just saying. No one's laughing no more. Now, what Atletico Madrid have basically said is, listen, obviously we're going through a pandemic. We also need to buy some players. We appreciate that you've offered us a player that we like. But quite frankly, we need cash. Therefore, we will not be letting Thomas Partey go without getting the full cash offer. So what Arsenal said is, listen, we appreciate what you're saying, but we don't have the full cash to pay for Thomas Partey. So Atletico Madrid have basically said, all right, cool, then keep it moving then. They're not under any pressure to sell. Arsenal are the ones that want to buy. And this is the thing that's going to annoy me, right? We're going to take defeat out of the jaws of victory. Here is a world-class player, for some deluded reason, wants to join Arsenal. And instead of just going that extra mile to go and get him, they're going to end up with all due respect to this Porto guy, a B-Tech version. Meanwhile, my man will sign a contract, flourish in that league, and then we will have the substandard version. This is the problem that we have. Like Ricky says, though, I guess we do have El Nene. I completely forgot. You're absolutely right. We do have El Nene. How could I forget the magnificence of El Nene? He did score over the weekend. Man, I was very disappointed, as you guys know. I've said from the very get-go, if there's one thing Arsenal can do to improve, don't get me wrong, they need to improve a few things. But if there's one thing they can do in this team to improve this team, go and get Partey. I don't care how you do it. I don't care when you do it. I don't care what it looks like, what the payment looks like. Go and put your resources in Thomas Partey. Because I know what this club are like. This club are going to do some bullshit where they're going to scrump and save and decide they can't afford Thomas Partey, then spend 40 million on an unproven fucking winger. It don't make no sense. It makes no sense. I want to hear that. Don't get me wrong, this Jolson Fernandez kid looks like he has all the potential in the world, but he's 17 fucking years old and hasn't been proven. You can't be telling me, I hope you ain't spending no 40 million on him. And before someone wants to say it, I suppose let me transition into that story. I understand that Arsenal bidded But someone says, Chig, this is where you should do your research. Arsenal bidded 13.6 million for him. Cool. Well, if you read the news stories today, the news stories have said that there's been some kind of breakthrough, because remember, Arsenal have sent a bunch of people over there to Lisbon, and now Arsenal have accepted that they are going to have to pay the full 40 million to release Jolson Fernandez from his contract. So you can meet one flipping clause for an unproven player, but you can't meet the clause for a proven player. The logic of this club, man, don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense. It's such an Arsenal thing. It's such an Arsenal thing to do. It's such an Arsenal thing to do. Just as I read that story, I was just like, you know what? As much as I like Arsenal, in some ways, I hope Atletico Madrid said, suck my nuts, and hung up the phone. About 25 million plus Guendouzi. Must be mad, bro. I said, I need 50 million euros. Not half. That's not negotiation. That's you trying to be cheeky. This is what I'm trying to say, bro. I get it. I get how, no, believe me, I'm a business guy. I understand how business works. It don't work like that. You don't offer half of what someone wants. You haven't even checked. Have you even checked to see if they want him? Never mind if the player wants to go there. Oh, anyway. Brilliant start, Arsenal, but we'll see what happens. But as things stand, there is an impasse. You know, Partey wants to come. Arteta wants Partey. The club wants Partey, but maybe not enough. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's move on to the other half of that, and that's Matteo Guendouzi. So as I said earlier, he's looking to go to Barcelona. He's had his mindset on it. Obviously, lots of teams have been courting him. Lyon, all kinds of French teams. I think PSG, loads of teams have been courting him. He's obviously been shut out of the team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. And he's obviously content to leave Arsenal. He believes that he's good enough to break into the Barcelona team. Listen, confidence is a wonderful thing. The confidence is a wonderful thing. I ain't knocking him for feeling confident enough that he feels like he can break into the Barcelona team. I think it's a bit nuts. But all right, cool. You know, power to you, bro. Let's see if you can manage it. He feels he can break into the Arsenal team, to the Barcelona team. Meanwhile, they obviously have a player that Mikel Arteta is very interested in called Phil Coutinho. Now, I've said this before. I've seen other people say this, and I must admit, I completely agree. I don't hate the Phil Coutinho signing as a loan. And notice I said, as a loan. I don't mind it. I think it's a reasonable risk. You pay 15 million, whatever it is, for a loan fee. He produces something for you. It allows the likes of maybe someone like an Emil Smith-Rowe to develop and perhaps grow into the role. He's 19 years old. For me, that seems like a great long-term plan, right? My issue is that we seem to be wanting to offer 50 million euros plus Matteo Guendouzi for Phil Coutinho. We want to offer, regardless of if some of us rate him or not, a midfielder with supposedly undoubted promise and talent who's 21 years old, plus money, substantial money for a 27-year-old that half of us rate. That to me don't seem like it makes sense. Now I agree, Rickon, and I know what people are going to say. Oh, but Cheek, well, he's better than Mesut Ozil. Cool. Stepping in bird poo and shitting on yourself, stepping in bird poo is obviously the better version of that. I still don't want to step in bird poo. Do you know? Like, for me, a more equal thing would have been to sell Guendouzi for cash and then use that cash to go and get a Dominic Szoboszlai. That, to me, is a swap that makes sense. Or sell Guendouzi for cash and then use some all add to it, and go and get Awuah, Hossein Awuah from Lyon. That, to me, is a deal that makes sense. Saying that you're going to add 50 million plus Matteo Guendouzi for a 27-year-old midfielder that has eyes for Liverpool, wants a Liverpool return, mind you, isn't even interested in coming back to us. He wants a Liverpool return. That, to me, seems unequal. That don't feel right. So I don't know. I don't know. It don't feel comfortable with me. And mind you, like I said earlier, I'm not necessarily against a loan for Coutinho, because listen, this is someone who at least has played in the league before, knows what he's doing. I'm not necessarily against that. I just feel like every time I see that story, I just feel uncomfortable. It just feels like we're about to take a massive L if that's the deal that we go for. I'd rather sell Guendouzi to Barcelona and then make a decision. Make a decision. If Coutinho is the person you want to go for, then I'd rather do that as a loan. Maybe have some sort of worked out fee, just in case Arsenal feel like they want to make that purchase. Maybe Coutinho does amazingly well and they decide that they want to make that purchase. But this, again, is my problem. So let me get this straight. Phil Coutinho is worth giving one of your most promising players away, plus 50 million in cash. And instead of taking that 50 million to use for Thomas Partey, you use it for Phil fucking Coutinho. Again, the logic. This is why I have to remember, these are rumors. And I say this every single time I do a show, because there's always a smart answer to say, oh, Chuk, you should know better. I understand that. These are rumors. But you can't help that these rumors sometimes are always based on some type of bullshit that's actually happening. But again, what do you guys think? Coutinho has been trending, by the way, all day. These two stories that I've opened with Partey is trending right now on Twitter, and Coutinho is this is if you're in the UK, by the way. And Coutinho has been trending all day. So I feel like there's something happening, but we don't know what it is. Obviously, the Premier League season just ended yesterday, and we have a very small window to conclude all these deals. Keep in mind, the season is not far from restarting. So we'll see what happens. For me, I'm not comfortable, but hey-ho, we move. One area that I know lots of people want us to strengthen, and by the way, over 150 people watching very, very late at night. Thank you very much. Please do slap a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Feel free to join the membership. Lots of stuff coming on the membership this week, including Cooking with Chig, gym vlogs I'm hoping to start this week, and some more pre-recorded videos and some streams, member streams. So do feel free to join the membership if you haven't already. All right, let's go to Upamecano. So whilst all this nonsense was happening, a story is recently broken in the last hour. It's not necessarily good news if you're an Upamecano fan. Upamecano has apparently quietly signed a new extension with RB Leipzig. He's staying with the club. The club have essentially added, or I say added, they've increased their release clause. I think it's something in the region of 80 million euros they've increased it to. And he's staying with the club. So bang goes that one. So Arsenal have now turned their attention to Gabriel, the Leeds or the Lille defender. I personally think this is the guy we should have been going for the entire time. I do like Gabriel. Lots and lots of potential. For someone that's going to ask me, yes, I know that we've been interested in Sarr as well, the Nice defender, who's now a free agent. I know that there's conflicting reports. I saw one report on Friday talking about the fact that he has decided to turn his back on the Premier League and he's actually going to Borussia Dortmund. And then I saw another story yesterday talking about the fact that actually Arsenal were favourites to sign him. So I actually don't know what is happening. And there's been no real fresh update in that area. The update I've seen in terms of defenders is Gabriel. Gabriel is someone that apparently we're very interested in. So are Chelsea, so are Everton. Him himself was apparently Everton were on the cusp of getting him. But he said that he would prefer to, if he was going to come to England, that he'd prefer to go to London. Obviously, then meaning either Chelsea or Arsenal. Chelsea have yet to go in for him because I think Chelsea's efforts, their latest efforts, is they're trying to tie up the Kai Havertz deal. Oh, to be a Chelsea fan. They're trying to tie up the Kai Havertz deal at the moment. So their focus is elsewhere. So it leaves Arsenal there for play. To me, I mean, this kid is what, 25 mil, 27 mil, lots of potential. My actual first choice would be something like Canute from RB Leipzig. We're not going to get Canute from RB Leipzig, so I think this would be the next best thing, in my opinion. I think he's a good defender. I would just go and get him. Go and secure him before someone regrets it or before we regret it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Does anyone have any kind of extra information on Gabriel? Someone that watches the French league regularly? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Okay. See, you guys are having a lot of fun with Mikel's name there. Mike L, indeed. I see you guys. Don't worry. Let me just quickly just see if there's any other story that I've not that I've missed. Mikel Arteta has told Socrates. I think this is pretty obvious to anyone that has watched football since the restart, that Socrates is not in his plans and that he is free to leave the club. So we'll be expecting Socrates to leave the club in very, very short time, which should coincide with my chopping block, which is due to drop tonight. And then finally, I'll talk about this story because there's no real update from the story about Jolson. I know that Jolson, they've sent a bunch of Arsenal representatives to conclude the deal. There was this feeling that Jolson will end up just signing a new contract anyway, but I think the agent wanted to just see what Arsenal had to say. Obviously, it's an opportunity for the agent to make more money. And there's a belief that that deal could potentially be done, but there's no real update at the moment. On the flip side, what's the story I was going to just talk about? Leeds. Leeds are interested in Jonathan Jank. They're also interested, by the way, in Emi Martinez. I'll come back to the Emi Martinez story in a minute, but Jonathan Jank. Let me try that again. It's late, people. Jonathan David from Genk. Looks like they're interested in him. He was set to join Lille, I guess, as obviously with Victor Osimhen leaving the club. It leaves an opportunity for a striker to join. But Leeds have come in last minute and they've decided to make him a bigger offer. And it looks like Jonathan David is considering Leeds' offer. They've matched the bid from Lille, which is about £27 million. So we'll see what happens. Leeds making big moves. What do you guys think? Let me know. And then very, very finally, let's talk about my brain's gone. Let's talk about Martinez. Excuse me. So Arsenal have been linked with Brentford's keeper, who I've now forgotten the name of. And I thought that was a bit unusual. Why would we want against Brentford's keeper? He is quite good. He's decent, a decent enough shot stopper. But that's because Leeds are interested in Martinez. There's a belief that obviously Leno looks like he's not going to be fit for the final. It was very touch and go. He was in a rush to make it back for the final. And there's a belief that Leno's just going to waltz back into this team. Now, I'm going to cover this a little bit more in my season review tomorrow with the boys. So I don't want to go too much into this, but there should absolutely be no reasons as to why Leno just rolls back into team. Not just, by the way, for the fucking final. I mean, for the start of next season. There should be no reason why that happens. I don't care. I don't care. You earn your place in this team. And for me, Martinez has earned his place in this team. Go and dislodge him is my challenge to Leno. But there's a belief that will happen. Obviously, Martinez is going to be like, well, I'm not just sitting on the bench like some jabroni. I'll go to a club that wants me, and Leeds are very, very, very keen on him. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Obviously, I think Martinez, I believe, will have a year left on his contract this summer. So it is quite crucial that we get him to sign on and stay. For me, you guys know, he's my number one. I'll explain properly the reason for that tomorrow. I think Leno has had a decent season. He has had a good... You know what? I'll go as far to say this. He's had a good season. Martinez has had a better season. And I'll explain the reason for that tomorrow. But yeah, I just feel like if we let Leno just waltz his way back into the team, I'll be very disappointed in this club. But you guys let me know what you think. Again, leave it in the comments below or in the chat room. I see you guys are active tonight, boy. Anyway, I hope you are well. I'm not going to stick around for too long, but we can have a little chit chat briefly. Let's have 5 minutes. Please do slap a like on the video before you go. I know some of you bounce once I do the main headline, so do slap a like before you go, before you get out of here. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm going to be bringing the show back every single day that we don't have a game or have something on, or I'm doing a random watch along. So it'll be on at 7, just as it was during lockdown. So make sure you keep an eye out on that. Like I said earlier, Cooking with Chig is coming back for you Gold members. So look out for that. That will be dropping. First one will be dropping on Saturday, this week, Saturday. So keep a lookout for that. I'm about to re-record my Socrates chopping block. So once you see that drop, everybody jump on that and slap a like on that video and go crazy. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another Eagle Eye episode, as well as the season review. So I'm going to be active tomorrow on this channel. And yeah, just keep a lookout, guys. Keep a lookout. Cooking what exactly? Lone Star, you gotta find out, my bro. Basically, what happens, Lone Star, is that the wifey holds the camera and I just cook some stuff. So it just depends on what she fancies that night and what I'm prepared to cook. Basically, that is essentially Cooking with Chig. I just want Martinelli to play week in, week out. C-Law, you sound like my friend Zach. Cooking with Meth. Oh gosh, I don't know what you're watching, mate. No. What time is the season stream? Oh, it's at 9:30 AFC, 9:30 UK time, 9:30 PM tomorrow. It'll be with Ola, and I'm hoping. Let me see if he's confirmed. Yeah, Ola's already confirmed, but let me see if. That I can announce it. He's confirmed. And special guest, Kenny Ken is in the building. So yes, Kenny Ken will be joining me tomorrow with Ola. Me, Kenny Ken, and Ola will be doing a season review. So yeah, so that should be fun. That should be fun. Chig is cooking up a baby. It sounded like my mum. That's what my mum really wants me to announce I have a kid. It better not be a recipe for disaster. I know, right? I know. Really, I like Leeds, man. They're a big club, and it's a nice night out. It's a nice night out. Louise is definitely a mistake. Not only signing him, but then giving him a new contract. Yes, the fact of the matter, Ken. Yes, he is joining me tomorrow. Kenny Ken, Ola, and myself, the Nigerian trio, in the house. Cook me some fried plantain, ake, and salt. I could do that. I could cook you some plantain anyway. Don't know about the other two still. Chig is so nice and cool. Thank you, Jordan. Sweetheart. Thank you, Raheem. Welcome, brother. I hope you're well. And I like your picture. We need more people supporting Pepe. So welcome, welcome. Thank you for your donation, by the way, Sojo. I appreciate it, my bro. Do you think Arteta will succeed if we have a good transfer window? I don't know, to be honest, but I think because you guys know I have some reservations about him generally. I have a lot of reservations about him generally, to be honest. I'm not quite as hard with it as Lee is, but to be honest, I'm equally as concerned. Just by some of the kind of in-game management and various little different things that he has going on, I'm a bit concerned. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the best chance he has is improving the squad. I did see a story earlier. Was apparently some guy from the Telegraph reported that Arsenal are not going to make any major signings this summer. And do you know what? I immediately went to his page and I said, bullshit. There is no way that this team will finish 8th and doesn't make an improvement. It will be suicide. That would be suicide. You can't do that. It'll be a revolt. So yeah, I'm gonna say bullshit on that one. Eli Emez, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I always welcome fans from other teams. I just see chicken curry with rice. I could do that. My girl loves a curry. My girl loves a curry. Cook some Cajun food. Would be nice. Yeah, I can do that too. I like a Mexican food. I like Mexican food. Could do it in honor of Sergio. There's a rumor that there's a story about a guy in Mexico who used. Oh my goodness! Could I put that? God, let's put that quickly. Thank you, Tidy. I appreciate that, my guy. I hope you're well. Yes, I saw Troops's. I don't watch that other guy. You know this already. But I saw Troops's. I love Troops. I almost disagree with everything he has to say about Arsenal. But I love him. I still love him. I love watching you, Chig. Thank you, my guy. Appreciate that. Jollof rice. Now I could cook a million jollof rice, Bambo. I could cook a million jollof rice. Do you think Nuno will? I think it's inevitable, especially if he keeps being consistent with Wolves. It's inevitable, 100%. Sorry, getting my vitamin C in. What was his ratings? Oh my gosh, go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it. I like Troops. Listen, we can disagree on stuff and be respectful. Yeah. As soon as I saw Xhaka get an 8, I was out of it. I'll be honest. I saw Xhaka get an 8, I was out of it. The only thing I was happy about, although his reasoning was a little bit weird, because he said that Leno almost got player of the season, but then he gave Martinez a 9. I was like, how does that work? Because Leno got an 8. I was like, how does that work then? But at least I'm happy he gave Martinez a higher mark. That I was happy about. The rest I definitely disagreed about. But it is what it is. Everyone has their opinions. The other guy, I don't watch him, so I don't know what he gave. Oh, it was the head of the fan base that gave it 8. Oh, okay. In that case, I apologize to Troops. Wow. Well, actually, I'm not surprised. 2 years ago, was it when Xhaka had that really poor season and everybody gave him like 3s and 4s and he gave him a 7. So we know what time it is when it comes to him and Xhaka. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. We know what time it is. My guy. Who's the head of the fan base? You gotta work it out, my bro. You gotta work it out. I like that name though. In fact, my boy would really like that name. You definitely don't look like the person that would represent that name, but my boy would love that name. Sambo Rambo is a hilarious name. Yeah. But I must confess, Raheem, I didn't want him initially. I didn't want him. I did not want him. Hernandez. Chig, what do I think of Lee Gunner? I love him, man. That's my brother. See, I would have said something bad, but I know you guys are quick with the gifts. I don't want no shit where he actually thinks I'm being serious. So most probably, Emmanuel. Most probably. Thank you, James. I appreciate that, my guy. All right. Couple more questions when I'm out of here. Doing some OTOT out here. Why? Who says we have any issues with my only issue, Jimmy, with that particular channel is the way they treated Claude recently. Other than that, I have no issue with them at all. I was asked a question, I responded on it. Lee is Cronke in. Netweed, me and Lee just had a massive debate on our group chat about it. Massive. Just shows you we don't perform out here. We really feel the way we feel about certain things. And me and Lee went back and forth for ages on our group chat about it this afternoon. Trust me. And we left not agreeing. So you should ask him about that next time he does a live stream tomorrow. I hear that you and Chick had a heated debate about Stan Kroenke yesterday. See if he reveals it. Chick, who's your favorite player from the Nigerian team from the 90s? Taib. You, my bro, should know the answer to this question. You're a long-time subscriber. It's JJ, baby. It's JJ. You work too much, my bro. Stay safe. No issues with them, bro. They're a successful outlet. They do their thing. Like I said, my only issue with them is the way they treated Claude. I did not like that. I didn't like that for a number of different reasons. I'll leave it as that. I don't trust my missus with my money. Damn. Okay. Well, if it helps, I'm about to re-record another chopping block, and then I'm going to bed, and I'll release that chopping block straight away. If it helps, you should watch the Old Guard on Netflix, fam. Bertrand, my bro, I want you to, once this is over, go on to my Chick Flicks channel. Link is in the description. Subscribe, because you clearly haven't if you're saying that to me. And go and find my review on the Old Guard, which I did last week. Cronke's ass. Any problem? Out of the 3 relegated clubs, who would you take from them? People keep asking me this question, but I would take Buendía. don't know how you say it. The attacking midfielder from Norwich. Roberts, I'd take Will Hughes. I'd take Nathan Aki. And then the fifth one, who is the other relegated team? Bournemouth. Who is the other relegated team? Oh my gosh. My brain's gone. Who was the other relegated team? Who was the other relegated team? I have forgotten. Decore, Watford. Forgot about them. All right, yes. Has he actually gone? Has it been confirmed? Has he gone? Has he gone? If that's the case, then Sarr from Watford, but as a backup player, just as a because I'd personally I'd sell Reece, so I'd buy him in as a backup player. I wouldn't have Della for you. Never really rated him. Shit, can you say no? You know I can't say that, Taib. I get my tongue tied with that one. Chig, seeing as Super Chat isn't available in my region, my donation will always be a like. Raheem, that's all I need, my bro. Listen, I've always said Super Chats help. They're great. And any YouTuber that pretends like they're not is a fucking liar. So they are great because you can reinvest it into the show. It helps the show grow. It helps the show expand. And ultimately, that's all we're trying to do as YouTubers. Having said all of that, actually, in a lot of ways, the more long-lasting effect and donation that you can make is a like. Because you liking that video can just boost that algorithm a little bit more and reach somebody that's never seen this show. Like Raheem, for example. Like you, Raheem, for example. So, yeah. I won't go into it, my guy. I won't go into it, but because it's Claude's story to tell, not mine. But let's just say the only issue I have with AFTV is just the way they treated him. I did not like that. I still don't like that. But it's not my story to tell. I think at this rate, Tyrus, I think I could see us going to get Rickon, bite your tongue. God forbid. Never. I'd rather shut down the channel. Who do you think will get the summer? I think the Porto midfielder, I think, is more likely than Partey at this moment in time. How come you never do a show with Tops anymore? I love Tops, Bambo. Tops is a busy guy, you know. I don't even see him active on Twitter no more. But no, yeah, I love Tops, bro. I love Tops. No issue with Tops whatsoever. I'll find a time for me and Tops to do a show. Bertrand, never. It's never going to happen. Never. You are more likely to see me open OnlyFans than me doing the show with that idiot. No, there's a few. Depends what you're going for. If you're going for underground or you're going for mainstream. Mainstream wise, it's Stormzy. Underground wise, I would say there are a few that you could Heady One, for example, or he's getting a bit more mainstream these days. Is a good watch you should look to. Invite Claude to my show. I want him. Actually, if I felt that Claude was in I was going to invite Claude to tomorrow's show, but he's been a bit quiet recently, so I just want to give him a bit of space. Plus, he has his own show. You see how active he is on his own channel, which reminds me, if you haven't already, go subscribe to Claude TV. Go subscribe to him now. Claude TV. No, it's not Claude TV. It's Claude and the Bansters. That's what they're called. Go subscribe to him. Him and his two boys, lovely guys, Terry and Big D's, as I call him. So go subscribe to that channel. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it, my guy. Thank you, Mo. I genuinely do appreciate good feedback like that. It's good. Thank you. Stephen, I hope you're well. Yes, 100% now. 100%. 100%. But yeah, I think I've answered your question already. But yeah, happily. I love Claude on this channel. Santan Dave is also extremely good. I love his album. I love his album. All right. I think I'm going to end with this question. How much do you think will be in our budget this summer if we don't win the final? I reported a story. I say I reported a story. I talked about a story that came out 3 days ago that Arsenal had 30 million in their transfer budget. And people go and see the comments. I think I put it in my community post. People absolutely cracked to the story. Oh, that's ludicrous. That's this, that, and the other. Now, keep in mind that it's before any player sales have taken place. I think that would be our budget. If we fail to win that final, that would be our budget. Santa David, no. Santan Dave. Santan Dave. Danilo Pereira is overrated. I just don't think he's good enough, bro. I just don't think he's good enough. I've been trying to get the missus. You guys could get. Damn it. Go on, one more question, I'm out of it. One more and I'm out of it. One more. Give me one more question. Because I've got one more video to record for you guys. Well, I don't know who to trust at this point. Who do you trust? Do you trust Raul to make that decision? You know, for all those people who have been bitching about the fact that we want Pepe instead of Zaha, which makes no sense. And yes, before somebody says, I did see the story that Zaha is available again at 45 million. No, I wouldn't want us to go and get him. I hope that answers that question real quick. Supposedly, that was Raul's call. Raul's call was for Pepe instead of Zaha. Now, for me personally, when you look at the way the season's panned out, Pepe's outperformed Zaha. But for those people who were mad about that decision, I guess you blame Raul. All right, let's end with yes, Starboy. I completely agree. And Ben, I kind of agree with you as well. Let's end with Tayyub's question. It's a nice, fun question. Funnily enough, when I was growing up, these two blondes were the talk of the town. They were the ones that everybody's obsessed with. I never fancied Ulrika Johnson. Never. Not even a little bit. Not ever. However, Denise Van Outen, I very much did. Although I don't think she's aged that well. But Denise Van Outen, I very much did. So yes, Denise Van Outen, for sure. For sure. All right, guys, I am out of here. Please do slap a like on this video. I'll be back again tomorrow at the earlier time of 7 p.m. So remember to catch me at 7 p.m. where I'll be doing another Eagle Eye episode. I will also, because this is how we roll, we're two showing it over here, be on live tomorrow with Ola and special guest. No, they're both special guests. What am I talking about? Ola and Kenny Ken. So make sure you guys don't miss that. Tomorrow at 9:30, we'll be doing a season review. Don't miss it. We're going to be rating all the first team players. And Rago, because we've never technically had a change of manager up until now, let's do all three managers. All three managers, we're going to rate them From Emre to Ljungberg to Mikel or Mike L. Arteta. I like your little remixes. So do not miss out. All right, I'm out of it, guys. Take care. Enjoy your Monday night, evening, wherever you are in the world. Deuces.